everyone's dropping the news at the same time. You know how it is. 1 second, everything's kind of calm, everything's quiet, and then the next second, it's like, Eze's going to Tottenham. This is what's happening. These are the stories. But guess what? Trossard might be leaving too. So that could open the door for Eze coming to Arsenal. So the reports are that Trossard leaving Arsenal looms and Eze is eyed by Tottenham. Fabrizio Romano reported that Eze is keen to join Tottenham, informed his desire to play Champions League football. Then you have reports that both Savio and, bro, this is huge, Savio and Eze could be joining your squad. That is two very exciting signings this late in the window for you guys. Of course, City are looking to get Rodrigo. This was a tweet originally Fabrizio started the whole day off with. Samuel McBell has said that Trossard is set to leave Arsenal this summer. I don't know if that means Eze's off the books, Rodrigo's off the books, that we might go for Leao, but we'll see at this moment in time. What else is it? This is just banter. Look at that picture. You got Thomas Frank and Arteta trying to get Eze. And then what else is there? Eze is keen on the move to Tottenham. I'm kind of confused because I thought Eze was 100% coming to Arsenal and he was going to wait, but maybe this is a power play to get Arsenal to start hurrying up, or maybe it's just he's actually going to end up at Tottenham. We don't know. But there's one more thing that I was looking for before we move on. There was two people who tweeted something that I wanted to speak about. Where is it?
It's all your bookmarks.
I'm gonna find it. No, this is all Twitter's. Twitter just puts it in order for you.
Oh, what, when you type the Eze news?
Yeah, because have you paid for the extra? Have you paid for premium on Twitter?
No, I can't lie.
I paid for
Twitter's
premium. I pay for the check mark, and this is the extra service. So
they put it in order for you, like all the news
under that category that you're looking for. You don't have to search it; it already comes up. Then you got, obviously this was Samuel McBell. Jacob saying that Arsenal remain interested and will have the edge to push for Eze if they want to sell either Trossard or Fabio Vieira. So I don't think we're out of this race yet, bro. I don't think we're out of this race yet. But let's talk about it. What makes you think Eze would be better suited to pick your club over Arsenal?
I don't think it's a case of whether Spurs will be better suited, Arsenal will be better suited. To answer that question, I'll answer your question. Tottenham can offer him, like, if he's coming to Tottenham, he's going to be the creator, not one of many creators. He's going to be the creator. He's going to be the guy replacing Maddison in that number 10 role. Probably going to be brought on some of the highest wages. We've only got like a few players on 150, 160k a week. He's probably going to be our highest paid player coming in. He's going to get to play in the 10, not be shifted out to the left wing because Odegaard's got to play and all this stuff. And also, I think he's just looking at a team where he's actually going to be built around. Like, he's going to be a very important player at Tottenham rather than just being one of many at Arsenal, which he might want to be, innit? Like, there's no doubt about it. If he wants to compete for the league right now, he will choose Arsenal. But I think if he wants to go somewhere, he could play Champions League football and push on and be that player to push that team to potentially compete for the league or compete wherever they are. I think that could be it could be Tottenham. Now, I think for me, looking at this deal, he's going to choose the team that bids. Like we've seen and we know, Tottenham aren't willing to pay 68 million. Arsenal aren't willing to pay 68 million. But Crystal Palace are only going to accept whoever bids the most. Now, what we do see with football quite a lot is it could be a case of, Tottenham make a price, Crystal Palace accept, and then Arsenal offer that exact price and then start a little bidding war. Now, I've got a feeling that Eze is leaning more towards Spurs simply off of the reports that we're seeing and also just for, like I said, what we can offer. But again, I'm not writing off Arsenal because I get why he would choose. Like, there's not a much difference between why he would choose Arsenal and why he would choose Tottenham. It's also, it's a World Cup year. So he does need a lot of minutes to prove himself as being the main number 10 for England. Tottenham can provide him with that.
Also, if you're in a team that's challenging for major honors, you're going to be part of a team that's going to make a difference. And in those teams, usually players get into the World Cup teams regardless if they're starters or not, i.e. Joe Gomez, for example.
Defensive positions are very different, man.
Okay, we could talk about attack also. I'm pretty sure we had Raheem Sterling at times being rotated, not necessarily starting week in week out, and he was always in the England team. I can't really think of too many other people off the top of my head right now, but if we go even further back, we could probably name some, but right now I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I do think there is a case that Tottenham is a very, very good proposition for him. First of all, with Madison injured, Son leaving, he fills a void as another difference maker you bring into your team and somewhat of a talisman that could be part of the team. So of course I see the importance that he would bring as a signing. But at the same time, is it the best fit? Also, is Eze coming to Tottenham at this moment in time guaranteeing that Tottenham are going to be headed in the right direction or building the right team? Because Savio, I think, is a much more like futuristic signing. He's not 27 like Eze is. He's a lot younger. He fits the bill as a left winger to replace Son.
Well,
Eze is
don't you
almost
think
like,
that the point of Spurs?
Eze is more or less Eze is more or less just going to be like, I don't know, at Tottenham is his best position going to be coming into the 10?
Yes, he's a number 10. What do you mean? He
But
wants
do
to
you
play
guys
the
even
10.
play? Do you guys even play with a 10? You play with a three-man midfield.
No, we don't. We play with a 10. We play a 4-2-3-1 we're under the Thomas Frank system. Madison was playing in the 10, but Madison's been injured, so you haven't seen the majority of preseason. But when he did come back, he was always playing in the 10. Spurs need a 10, and Thomas Frank plays with a 10. Damsgaard was Brentford's 10 last season. I know what you tried to do there. Egal's trying.
No,
Egal
it
thinks,
is
Egal,
Eze.
this is where you're getting it wrong, bro. You
No,
think you're
no.
talking to Eze
Okay,
right
you
now.
got me. Okay,
If you
maybe
want to
you're
do
right.
mind games, you could do that to
No,
Eze,
no.
but you can't tell people that
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking questions. This is what it is. It's not mind games. Genuinely, I think it would be an amazing signing for you guys. If you guys did get the signing over the line, it would be amazing. But my questions are: you already have a dribbler in Kudus. You already have a dribbler in Savio. Do you need another dribbler in Eze, or would you need more of a passer, somebody who breaks lines?
So that's why I agree with you. That's one point I'll agree on. And I've been a bit confused when I wouldn't say confused in it. I think for me, it's quite clear that Frank wants that in his system. When you look at all the players we've targeted, Morgan Gibbs-White, he's a player that carries. Eze carries, Nico Paz carries, Bilal El Khanous carries. All the players we've been linked to in that number 10 position are all ball carriers. So I can only assume with that in mind, looking at the data, that Spurs are looking for that type of player for the Frank system. Now, I would agree with you in saying that I feel like we need more line-breaking passers in the team. Clearly, Frank doesn't identify that as a problem for us. So I'm cool if that's not what we need. I can take a player like Eze who can make a pass. Eze is very good at making passes, but at the same time, he is more of a ball carrier. Now, when you look at the age profiles and compare the likes of Savio and Eze, that's why we need someone like Eze, because we have a lot of young players. We have a lot of players that are still yet to reach their potential and are going to be working their way up. We need some people that can bring that more mature character, that bring that winning factor, which obviously Eze can do, but bring that like somebody who can settle the changing room at times of need. And especially in your front line, you need more experienced players in those moments. We've got like Odebert, Tell coming through in the left wing, right wing, Yamin Hyok, Mike. Like we've got all these young wingers. We don't necessarily need many more. Now, Savio will come in and be the direct Son replacement, like you've alluded to, simply off the back that we need a dribbler on the wing. We saw playing against Bayern, we didn't have no dribblers, didn't have nobody that would come collect the ball. Savio quite literally is the number one in under 21s for progressive carries in the world of football. So I'm looking at this and just saying Savio is the perfect signing. Eze is the perfect signing to come into the 10. Spurs make a massive leap, bro. It's a huge jump from our current team to adding Savio and Eze in that team. Like you now talk about having one of the top front fours in the Premier League. Now, maybe not top 3, maybe not top 4, but we now have one of we're up there now in the top 4. When you have Savio, Eze, and Kudus behind your striker, you're like, yeah, that's serious stuff.
I've seen the images. I've seen the graphics. It does look good. I'm not gonna lie to you. But at this moment in time, what's the chances that Tottenham move for a player and they don't get him? Really and truly, 9 times out of 10, when you move for a player, you guys are serious and you guys move for a player, you go and get him. How many last year? Did you know we wanted Eze last year? We didn't end up getting him.
We wanted Eze last year. We wanted Eze for the past 2 years. We've been tracking Eze a lot closer than you guys for a long time. And that's the thing is, I think if Spurs don't end up with Eze, it's because, like you said, we didn't want him as much, just like maybe you didn't want him as much. Now, it has been heavily reported that early in the window we moved on and decided not to move on Eze, and we triggered the deal for Kudus. And
But
that's
you know
why
why that was?
it was because Thomas Frank, I prioritized a right winger first, which was Kudus, and then apparently Morgan Gibbs-White was our number one priority in the 10. So Spurs wanted
a month ago, he was basically waiting for Arsenal.
No, bro, that's not true. You're hey, Gal, I not look. Don't show me this rubbish set tier. Who the fuck is Podcast TVG, bro?
Bro, he literally was
the
on the
Beautiful
podcast.
Game podcast. Stop it, man.
Bro, they literally have him on the phone dial. They're hearing it from him.
He says he wants Arsenal on the podcast. That's lies.
No, it wasn't that he said he wants Arsenal. Basically, if the option is between Arsenal or Spurs or Chelsea or Bayern, whoever it is, obviously his priority would be.
I don't think that's the case.
One said club. His preference was to join Arsenal. Also, there was reports that Eze told family members that he was expected to join Arsenal this summer.
Bro, this is all these reports about family members. I don't know if you know, people sell stories to the news outlets. You do know that, right? Family, friends, they can sell stories to get some money. If somebody's saying, oh, Eze's told family he's joining Arsenal, but nothing's happened till now, Arsenal haven't put in a bid, then we just know that's lies. We just know that whoever sold that story at that time is lies. He wouldn't know 2 months before that he's joining Arsenal when you guys have signed 4 or 5 players since and still haven't put in a bid. Because like you said earlier, informal bids have taken place, but no official bids. The point of that remains is that Tottenham have had a long-standing interest. You can look back in June, Spurs were negotiating, Spurs were in for Eze and so on, but we never triggered anything. I generally think if both bids go in, I don't think he chooses Arsenal. I don't think he does. Now, this may come back to bite me, but what I will say is, at the end of the day, the club he will go to will be the club that Crystal Palace accept the bid from. I don't think it's in Eze's hands. I think it's in Crystal Palace's hands. And that's where the problem is right now. They're very tough negotiators. And until Arsenal or Tottenham pay what they want, neither of us are getting it.
Okay, Trossard is out the door for Arsenal, right? Soon.
He's not. You have to get funds in before you say that, bro.
No. The main issue right now is we just don't want a bunch of players in the team that are on high wages without getting some players out first. So we're trying to make room. It's not about the actual money spent. We could buy Eze. The financials of buying him is not the issue. It's just squad management. You don't want to bring in a bunch of players before you've sold some more. We've already brought in.
You've also got 2 more attackers that you need to get rid of in Trossard and Vieira. You need to sell
Trossard, Vieira, Reece, and Jesus.
Jesus won't move because he's injured. He's not going to move.
No, but my point is, when you said there is no room, there's not too much room. There's going to be a lot of room. Think about it.
There will be, but we're talking about right now. Eze, you do this thing ago. You're talking about in 2 weeks or talking about when it's.
We're speaking about both projects. I get the Tottenham situation. From the Arsenal side of things, it's sticky because we've already signed Gyökeres, we've signed Madueke, we've signed a bunch of these guys, and clearly they did not prioritize Eze. So from his eyes, maybe he's moving on. The player will only wait for so long. I get that, right? As for why he fits at Arsenal, he fits ideally as a left winger or as a 10. Either way, he fits.
Where do you think he wants to play?
I think he probably wants to play more centrally, but he does have a lot of options in this team.
So do you think that if he gets a choice of, Arsenal are selling him on the project, that you're going to play centrally, but you'll have to be playing off the left a lot, or Spurs say you're going to be our number one go-to 10?
I think the main way we would be selling him is that you're going to be playing with some of your countrymen that you rate highly, like Saka, like Declan Rice. Also, you're going to be in your boyhood club, which you came from in the academy. Unfortunately, we let you go a long time ago, but we want to right those wrongs. You'd be given the coveted number 10 shirt, and a lot of it is around feelings and connections and relationships. It's not sporting wise. Obviously, you'd be coming into a much better team where there'd be much more challenges to guarantee a spot for yourself. But he backs himself to get him to the team, and I think if he was to come to Arsenal, he would be starting a majority of the game for me as a left winger, and at times we would have to switch around how we play, and he maybe could play in the midfield, either with Odegaard or without him.
I don't think that he wants to play on the left wing. That's the thing. I don't. I think he's more in, like you said, you guys are coming in late for him in the deal. Like you're taking all this time.
That's where he plays for
You had
Palace.
5 weeks to have a free hit out of the deal, and then you're telling him that you're not going to play in your preferred position. I'm just looking at it and I'm like, this doesn't seem likely for me. It doesn't seem like a deal where Eze is going to accept it, man. I just can't see it happening. I can't see it. I just can't see it.
Let's be honest though, out of the two clubs, his desire to join Arsenal is very, very prevalent. His desire to join Tottenham is maybe recent because you guys have been maybe impressed him.
This is what I don't get, Egal. You make stuff up, man. You make stuff up.
I think
because if you're on Twitter as much as you are and you follow transfer news as much as you do, you'd know that Tottenham have been in for him way longer than Arsenal. So you think that is a case? No, but you think it's a case of, oh, Arsenal have taken too long. He's going to go to Tottenham now because we've just come in at the end. No, Spurs have been in for him longer than you guys. When he comes to Spurs,
but you walked away because
you do know in the last couple of games we played Crystal Palace, his family has a box at the stadium. Tottenham, Daniel Levy give his family a box because they've been working on this deal for so long, been sweetening Eze up to try and get him to come to Spurs. This has been worked on for a long time. We've been long-term admirers of him. So I generally think that, like, when I'm looking at these feelings and stuff, yeah, the academy stuff, I get that. But Declan Rice also was a Chelsea academy graduate, was heartbroken when Chelsea let him go. And then when Chelsea came back in for him, he chose Arsenal. So when you look at that, you can quite clearly see that, yes, academy may have a play into it, but it may not as well. It may not mean anything. I just think the player is going to choose what's best for his career at this moment in time. That's what I think. I'm not saying that he definitely won't choose Arsenal because there's a big chance he may choose Arsenal over Spurs. But I don't think it's like Arsenal fans make it seem like it's one-sided. I think that it's very fair and very even. But anybody that's thinking it's one-sided is lost because it's not.
Think so.
I think it's so far from one-sided. And shout out to Avishek about the CAA base. Tottenham have a very good relationship with his agency, CAA. We have a very, very good relationship with them. So I can imagine that we've obviously been working through the intermediaries on their deal on this as well. So I think right now, like Jordan said, I have to go 50-50. It's 50-50 at the moment. But I'll say 60-40 Spurs at the moment. But I don't think it's like majorly in our way. I'm not going to be that confident and saying like he's definitely coming Spurs and so on.
But then why is it there's tweets like Jacob Steinberg's tweet saying that Arsenal remain interested and will have the edge if they push for Eze, but they want to sell the likes of Trossard and Vieira first. So they're clearly telling you Arsenal still have the edge.
That's Jacob Steinberg. But then you read Fabrizio and he says he's keen on a Spurs move. He didn't once mention that he was keen on an Arsenal move. So I guess, look, but they're all buzzwords. To me, this is all just journalists playing their game against each other because if he joins Arsenal, Steinberg looks better than Fabrizio for the moment. If he joins Tottenham, Fabrizio looks better than Steinberg and he shits on Steinberg. So it's just a case of that's journalist wars. I don't care what they've said in that remark. Like, we can take it in, like, pause, take it in a bit. But I don't like to say he's edging Arsenal. Is like, yeah, if you guess, like, if you say so, but like, what? Where's the facts or what? How can you track that? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just them playing their game.
Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and leave a comment down below what you thought of that video you just watched.